Hi, everybody, and hi, my beautiful co-host and cosmic sister, Corinne Mooney, all the way from Mesa, Arizona, whom we can't actually see today. You are with us.
I am here. You will hear me. You just can't see my gestures. I apologize.
That's a little bit of a hiccups with the laptop, but that's okay. You're still here with us, so we make the best of what we can, what we have here, right?
Yes,
We do, as I love to say, we do what we can with what we currently have, and that's it. And then we're looking forward to the next one, right?
correct.
And I'm shocking people today. I hope not, right? I'm making a joke as usual, right? Change my hair color, so back to my more natural self. I'm not a blonde. So there we kind of popped it, right? So, um, again, here, welcome everybody to the Cosmic Sis-Stars Show with hosts Corinne and Anne. And in this radiant gathering, we open the invisible doorways that have always been whispering to you, always. The realms beyond the physical are not distant, not reserved for a chosen few, not hidden behind veils you must fight to lift. They are here. They are now. They are yours. And tonight we step into the soft shimmer of your etheric nature, the intuitive senses you were born with, the subtle language your soul has been speaking since the beginning, the gifts that rise when you finally say yes to who you truly are. Together, we explore the art of noticing what has always been present, acknowledging the quiet brilliance within, and allowing your etheric gifts to become living, breathing companions in your daily life. And this is not about performing magic, it is about remembering your essence. So, this is about how to dig deep within to find yourself, because that is the key to embracing calm, strategies for coping with anxiety. Anxiety arises when you don't really connect with yourself. When you do connect with yourself and get to know yourself, you feel more confident, right?
Correct.
So today we have Wednesday, June 3rd in US and Europe, and Thursday, June 4th in our future, Australia, always our future. And we discuss embracing calm, strategies for coping with anxiety. Our last show on Cosmic Guardians and Cosmic Sisters was last Wednesday, May 27th, and we talked about luminous transitions, the power and beauty of energy clearings and blessings. And that's an important part of this too, right? So if you missed last week's show, you can go to youtube.com/at Cosmic Guardians 111/streams, and you can find the past show from last week and any past show basically. Or you can go to youtube.com/at angel place on earth slash streams. We also always stream our replays on facebook.com/cosmic guardians, but they only stay there for around 30 days. Then they take the videos away. And you can also go to angelplaceonearth.com/cosmic guardians. So you find all our shows, right? Talking a
Correct.
lot as usual. And now let's take a soft breath together and arrive fully into this moment and dive deep into today's show. So I'm so sad we can't see you today, because I can tell everybody here that Corinne is absolutely beautiful today. She's extra special beautiful, but you know, what is one going to do?
Well, the situation is not going to take away my calm. We figured out a way to do this, and we remain calm through the situation. And It will rectify itself as soon as I take my little laptop, back to the doctor. But we've all heard the expression, the calm before the storm. Does that actually mean that nature needs to move into a state of calmness, a time to draw her strength and power back into her ethereal energy field before having the power to bring the storm? As we navigate through our earthly experience, maybe we are shown that when our chi, our ki, or our prana have kind of been invaded with all of the stuff we have to put up with through the world, maybe we are encouraged to find that calm so we will be able to have the power to do what we need to do. And this auric field that surrounds us, it has different layers, of course, all related to the different parts of our body, our physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, ethereal, and many, many more. So when we feel a storm brewing inside of us, that also begins to fuel our anxiety.
Yeah.
And that unsettling emotion kindles the flame, creating more fear and anxiety, affecting our entire being.
Yes.
So let's find the calm, dear sister.
Yes, let's find the calm. And we are always, as we say, I find that amusing actually, because we always walk our talk.
Always.
Just coping with each and every situation that's coming.
That's
so
right.
there are moments when the world feels louder than usual, when thoughts move too quickly, when we are overthinking, when the heart beats with a rhythm that does not feel like our own. Anxiety arrives quietly at times and very forcefully at other times. Yet its presence is always a signal. It is the body asking for grounding. It is the mind asking for spaciousness. It is the soul asking for remembrance. So instead of fighting that sense, right?
Right.
Or trying just to tell what everybody says, just gather yourself. Come to terms with it, right? But listen, breathe. That's a good thing to start with. Just breathe.
Yes.
Don't think so much. Breathe. Be in the present moment.
Yes. It is. And I love the way that you use the word, take a pause, take a moment. And I can remember as a little girl when my mother was teaching me how to cross the street. And she would use the expression stop, look, and listen. And it worked very well because fortunately I'm still here. But what if we do this when we are facing that anxiety?
Yes.
Stop, pause, breathe. Look about you. What brought you to this point of panic? Listen. Listen to your inner voice and then go to your secret room, your sanctuary, and into the calmness. Be the calm within you. Let it flow, let it grow. And when you bring compassion, the anxiety begins to lessen, and this helps bring back your inner connection to the divine.
Beautiful. And to embrace calm is not to deny anxiety, because denying anxiety is to be in resistance, right?
Yes,
It is to meet your anxiety with gentleness. It is to recognize that anxiety is not a flaw, it is a messenger. It's telling us something. It points towards the places within you that are ready for healing, clarity, and deeper alignment when you learn to listen rather than resist. Anxiety becomes a doorway rather than a barrier. So you can listen. And as I mentioned before, one of the most powerful strategies for coping with anxiety is returning to the breath. breathing.
Yes.
In through the nose, out through the mouth. And breathing not on with the top of the body, with our stomach, the tummy.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the breath is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, between the physical and the energetic. So when you breathe slowly and consciously, your nervous system softens, your thoughts settle, your energy begins to harmonize. A single mindful breath can shift the entire inner landscape. So even if we are busy, breathing, since we do that naturally all the time, we can just turn around if you are outside in a crowded space, or go to the gents or ladies room. Cut the energy where you feel you need, and just breathe. Take a moment, right?
That's correct. And many of the techniques that I've learned over the years, especially in yoga and Kundalini yoga, especially, is learning how the breath, how important it is. And I mean, there's time to do the lion's breath, which is very fast, but that brings energy. And then there's time to do inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and release for 4 seconds. It is in this time that you can go into the stillness. And when we are in that stillness, it will be revealed to us why this event has moved us to this place of anxiety. What
Yes.
triggers still hold power over our self love? And by moving into the calm, we can see opportunities to better understand ourselves.
Yes.
How about giving ourselves the compassion? How about praising yourself for having overcome so much? And
Yes.
once we realize that we are becoming anxious about something or someone, finding that moment of silence, take that breath and that time to reflect. It's interesting about the breath because when I go in for a physical and the doctor says, breathe, I tell her, I said, I breathe diaphragmatically. I breathe from the diaphragm. And she'll say, next breath, but I haven't even finished the first breath because I can feel my entire lung capacity. I feel it all the way down to the lower lobes. And while they're just, okay, breathe. And I go, I can't do that. I can't do that normal breathing of just, I
Yeah.
breathe. Then I blow it out. And then it takes me that long to blow it out. And they just kind of look very puzzled. But I said, I taught myself to have that deep breath, and
Yes,
it's
it's good.
it is good.
It is good. I learned it is like you, but slightly different. So breathing at 4, hold breath at 4, and exhale at 8.
Well,
Because
yeah,
it,
that's even better. That's even better.
because it actually takes a little bit longer time to exhale, and
Yes,
it brings calm. And um, a key to cope with anxiety, it's not to be in resistance. It's a very human thing we have, that when we feel uncomfortable, and feeling anxiety doesn't really feel comfortable, right?
hmm
Meaning that if I would find myself in that place, I don't want to be there. I want to get out of it, right?
exactly.
But I'm holding on to it longer when I'm fighting it. So if we can start at least to train on seeing it as a messenger, as something that's giving us signals, messages, telling us something, because it doesn't really pop up like that without coming from something, right?
Yes,
We have a very deep anxiety. Yeah, maybe we need to visit a professional person to help us with that. But we can, if it's not that deep, we can actually start to become aware of when it happens, why it happens, and work with it ourselves, right?
Yes. And on a little bit of a darker thread here, when I was doing some self-defense classes, one of the things that they stressed was the minute that you feel you're in danger, blow all your breath out. Because if you suck in your breath and then something happens, you have no air to do what you need to do. But if you force all the breath out and go, like this, and then you can start breathing, and that also, well, it's going to bring oxygen to the brain. But we forget the power of the breath. And in India, the word they use for chi, energy, is breath, prana. And there are many places where people just teach the breathing. But what that does to the body, it brings in the oxygen, it releases, the harmful chemicals and things that are in our body. So from a physical point of view, it's fantastic. But what it does is when you take that time to breathe and you take that time to bring that compassion,
Yeah.
your anxiety begins to lessen.
Yes,
And
it does.
this will bring you back. And you begin to find your connection to yourself, to your higher self. You're not alone. You're surrounded by unconditional love, by understanding, and no judgment and peace.
Exactly. And, one could state that in a different way of saying it, right? Because we
Always.
say basically always the same things, but different wording. So, a strategy for coping with anxiety can also be grounding through presence, because anxiety often pulls you into imagined futures or unresolved pasts, taking you somewhere else, not being present. Presence brings you back into the now, and your power lives in the now. It doesn't live in the past nor in the future. So you can ground through touch, through noticing the sensations in your body, through observing the environment around you, what's going on around you, taking your focus somewhere else, right?
Correct.
Presence reminds you that you are safe in this moment.
This is very true. And staying in the now. And one other thing that I love to add is your own voice.
Yes,
In the beginning was the word. Now I'm
yes,
going to carry that a little further. In the beginning was the impeccable word. And our voice carries a unique frequency,
it
and it's
does.
our own personal healer. So
Yes,
speak with that impeccability, speak with
yes,
kindness, speak with encouragement, and
yes,
even sing. And you realize when you're singing, you are doing more breathing. So bringing that in while you're walking in nature, while you are finding your quiet space, remember how powerful we are to be able to handle. We have the gifts to handle all of these situations, and and
we have
unfortunately we're
them.
given opportunities to try them out.
Exactly, And being aware of energy is also essential, because anxiety can accumulate in the energetic field like static, right?
Yes.
And if we are sensitive beings, which we, most of us watching these kinds of things are and discussing them, it means that we are picking up a lot of things. Some of them are stemming from ourselves, coming from deep within. Other things are coming from the environment. So clearing your space, cleansing your aura, simply placing your hands over your heart can help release the tension that has gathered. So when your energy is clear, your mind becomes clearer too. You reconnect with your inner guidance rather than the noise of fear. And we have done at least a couple of shows about clearing the energy. And we talked about it last week, right?
Yes, yes,
How to be aware. Compassion is another key. And now we're not talking about compassion where we are so good at it, having compassion with all of the world, right? Like
okay,
as an empath. Now we're talking about having compassion for yourself or even the anxiety. So anxiety softens when met with kindness. Speak to yourself, you would speak to someone you love, really love, right?
yes.
Someone you care for. Offer yourself understanding rather than judgment. Remind yourself that you are doing your best always. Compassion creates inner safety, and safety dissolves anxiety.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I will carry the ability to put your hands on yourself and calm that anxiety. And one
Yes,
of the things that I uh, give to my clients is that if they take their hands and put them just an inch above their head, and then slowly, yeah,
like
do
this.
it for me. Slowly, and then slowly move it down the front of your body, slowly. There you go, slowly, and all the way until you get to your knees, and then let your hands move out. Now, can you feel how empowered you are?
Yes,
Now, from a scientific point of view, what you are doing is we all emit energy from our body, and you literally are having that energy hit your hands and bounce back to you, feeding yourself. Okay.
yes, yes,
Now,
like this.
ethereally, you're wiping your aura of all of the debris
Yes,
and clearing that. And then you can do the sides of your body if you choose. But I suggest this to people, especially they've just gotten home from work. They've got to go in and face the family now. Ah, you got all this stress. Do that a couple of times before you go in. And it's amazing how much stronger you feel and how much calmer you feel. So
yes,
that's just a little addition to, but you always on the heart, and especially women, because we carry our essence close
yes,
to the heart area.
yes,
So that embodies us and embraces us.
it does. And I would go a little bit further also, and anyone can choose whatever they like best. So if you hold your hands and you go down like this
Uh huh.
to certain where you feel, and I would actually take my hands and do something of this nature,
Yep.
taking away, changing the energy,
Right.
going through the entire body. It
It's
feels
interesting.
really, really good.
Yeah, it's interesting because in martial arts, you will find, and you're going to be my show here because I have no picture. But in martial arts, when they begin to fight with someone, they're standing across from each other, and you will see them start at their head and bring the energy down, and then as soon as they get the ground, they will go a little closer to the other person and come up, because what they're doing is they're taking that person's energy and then they put it onto themselves. And if you start watching and being aware that to see that movement, because you'll see a lot of it where they go and they go a forward movement up in front of the person, and then it's always a movement down when they're working with themselves.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yes, these thoughts just bounce into my head every now and then.
So another powerful tool is connection
Oh yeah.
because anxiety tends to grow in isolation, right?
Correct.
Sharing your feelings with someone you trust or simply allowing yourself to be witnessed, to be confirmed, can lighten the emotional load. You remember that you are not alone, that others walk this path too, that support is always available. But I want to throw something in here too. If we are finding ourselves um, having to talk about the same thing over and over, and I'm not talking about a week or a month because it can take time. Self work always is a process. But if we go month in, month out, year in, year out, and we can't, that means we have gotten stuck. That's a different scenario, right?
Yes.
And sharing delicate and very personal things about oneself, pick someone you do really trust, right? And reveal whatever you feel you need to reveal. Some people have this sense that I don't want to reveal exactly every detail, but I want to reveal some of it. And that's fine. You decide. Always remember that.
Yes.
And movement also can also help because anxiety is energy that wants to move. Gentle stretching, walking, dancing, or shaking out your hands can release the tension stored in the body. Um, Bicycling, gymnastics, take a walk outside, hug a tree. There's nothing that's as good as bringing one down, grounding oneself as being out in nature. And now we have the best season for it in our part of the world.
Yes.
I should say that Australia, they are probably having winter. So that's different, right?
Yes.
But movement brings flow where stagnation once lived. And that goes also, just want to throw something in here. When we are clearing space in our homes, I use something there that you can use. And I use sound. I use a small bell. I didn't bring one today to show
Yes.
because where energy is stagnant, it is where we don't usually focus. We don't use the space. And that could also be applied if we have things that we don't want to look at within us. It's the same thing, basically, right?
Yes.
Um, so in drawers or spaces, corners. So when you are clearing your space, you can ring a bell over there. You're going to feel that the energy starts to move. And that's interesting.
That's a very, very good point, and very valid because frequencies can go where we can't sometimes go,
Yes.
and also fragrances and the vibration of living things, but the cleansing is so critical, and we spoke about that last week about having the energy cleaning. Well,
Yes.
just like you clean your home, and we've spoken before about um, spiritual hygiene, and
Yes.
this is all part of it. And
Yes.
just that maintenance, we forget the maintenance because everything is running real good until it isn't, and then you go, oh no, not again. And so a gentle way of finding things in maybe in your daily life that are going to relieve tension before it builds up to anxiety. Just taking that moment to maybe for 3 minutes do some breath work, maybe for a couple of minutes be out in nature. Uh, my backyard is now, my grass is just, it is just like a soft carpet. And even though I have some challenges with my ankles and everything else, I take off my shoes and I deliberately walk around my backyard. And that also grounds me because connecting to the ground, that is a very beautiful way to help remove the anxiety in our body, and
Yes.
it pulls it out of us. So there are so many beautiful ways that we can. But I like the average American, everybody, I get busy and start cramming things. I'll get to it, get to it, and then pretty soon my little cupboard with all the get tos falls on my head and says, "Now I really got to it." So it's so
Yeah.
yeah, but just
There,
kind of
there,
incorporate them.
there are so many ways of doing things. But I think the first, also, and most important is to acknowledge and acknowledge that you feel something about something. And usually we do understand where it's coming from. We don't need to dig down into the all of the details. It's enough for acknowledging that I feel anxiety, and I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to be kind to myself, because as we said in the beginning also, resisting doesn't help at all. It means that we are staying a longer time in that place of anxiety. And something else that's interesting, many people have a great inner wisdom, great intuition. They know what they don't want and what they want. They know, but they don't really trust in it, right?
Yep.
So trust in your resilience, trust in your inner wisdom, trust in the cycles of your own healing. Anxiety does not define you, it is a temporary state, not a permanent identity. So when you trust your ability to navigate it, you reclaim your power because you have your power. And if I feel anxiety for something, there's no one on this earth who can tell me that I don't feel what I feel. So listen to yourself. That is the first and I think most important thing. I talk to a lot of people just like you do, Corinne, and many of them actually say, I just called you because I want to confirm for myself that I'm not off with what I'm feeling or thinking or receiving as message, right?
Yes. Well, this is a good way when they acknowledge that they're the ones that are working on the situation and they just want to bounce it off of somebody and kind of get that confirmation. You know,
Yes.
it this feels right for me. Does it sound right if I say it out loud? And
Yes.
to have someone like you where they can get a true and loving answer and not be told, well, you this, you got to that, and well, you got to do this, and you got to, uh, because we're not here to tell them how to do that. We're here to be that support to allow them to do
Yes.
it.
Yes. Exactly.
And
I,
one of the things that I found when I go to I call it my to go find my calmness. Of course, meditation and movement, nature, the speaking and the singing, but have a little kit. And this isn't a survival kit. I call it your thrive kit because we don't need to be in survival. We just need to go, okay, how can I take this situation and maneuver around it and then thrive? I don't want to just survive and get out alive. I want to thrive. I want to come out alive and I want to be ready to, face the next challenge and move on. And
yeah.
just create your own little routine and you'll find that it's your little go-to bag. When you feel that anxiety creeping up, you go, "Oh well, I've got a bomb for you. I know how to clean you up. I'll just start singing. I'll just start moving. I'll just start doing this." And uh, and Anna, you've never seen my dance moves, but I've got some really good dance moves.
I know I will see them one day. Okay.
Yes, you will.
So, embracing calm is a practice. It's a return to yourself again and again and again and again. It is choosing softness over struggle, presence over panic, awareness over overwhelm. It is remembering that within you lives a steady, luminous center that anxiety cannot really touch if we don't allow. So, doesn't mean we are going to be hard on ourselves, but if we become aware when anxiety is knocking on the door, there are so many things we can understand about ourselves.
Yes.
And you are capable of calm. You are capable of clarity. You are capable of rising above the noise and returning to the truth of who you are, your truth. And every time you choose calm, you strengthen the light within you and around you, and you become untouchable, right?
That's it. You really do. You really, really do.
And also, once again, I want to remind everybody that working on yourself is a process. It's never a quick fix. Doesn't happen like that. We don't say to ourselves, now you're going to shape up, and because that's not it, right? It's also a catalyst for the greatest changes for the future, because when we want to change things in our life, we have the power within, and we have the way we are. No, I rephrase that. We have our energy and frequency, and we do attract what matches our energy and frequency. It's as simple as that. It's very easy to say. It can take a few years, quite a few, many years to really start getting it. But it doesn't matter. Each and every step forward, even if it's a baby step, it's a win.
It's always a win. And always deep within our hearts, we have this sacred space, this place that is where our essence lives. We
Yes,
are the only ones that have the key to this special place. And
yes,
within this space lies our truth, our power. And when we step within this safe place, we reclaim our true essence and emerge refreshed, encouraged, centered, and in a state of calmness.
yes, indeed.
Yes.
And I want to actually give a heads up for your Tuesday evenings, your open heart meditations
Ah,
in
thank
your
you.
center in Mesa, Arizona. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, every Tuesday I have a very unique group of people to gather for meditation. Uh, yes, we go into a deep meditation, and I have learned that I can hold that energy so people can get as close to the oneness as they possibly can. So they can just enjoy the connection and reconnection. And then usually we have some questions and answers after, and a lot of times I'll end with a energy light blessing, or I get a download from the higher dimensions. So it's actually a learning class. It's to become closer to yourself. And in my center, I do see clients. I work with energetic healing, and that's one thing that's very wonderful. Reiki sessions, Reiki classes, and a lot of on and on. Uh, how do I say it? I hate the word coaching. Uh, I, but that's basically the conversations that I have with people, I'm actually listening to what your soul is saying to yourself, and we get in the way of hearing it. So soul translator, and then we go from there. So yes, it's very beautiful. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, you can find out more information about this at liquidenergyhealing.com. And I also posted in the chat. So
Yes.
have that. We can't see you today, and that's a shame because you are so over the top beautiful. And I
Well,
won't be able to see when you get hot.
well, I'm starting to squirm because I know that that's coming up pretty soon. But you know,
So, are we ready to step into that section?
of course, I've got my asbestos suit on. I can handle the heat.
Good. So, as we explore this theme today, here are a few reflections that will help us feel into the shift. And these reflections are not only for Miss Karina and myself, they are for all of you watching and listening as well. So ponder about them for yourself. First question: what does etheric empowerment mean to you in everyday life?
Oh, one of these simple questions that you come up with, lady.
Yes.
I love the word simple. We're gonna have to have a podcast on what simple actually means.
Okay.
Ethereal empowerment.
Etheric empowerment is the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. To me, that means staying in the now. Because when you're in the now, you can actually move beyond the body into the oneness, or what scientists call the field, because it's that field, that etheric essence, that is really our true being. That's where 90% of where we live. We're only in 10% in the human body, but out there is where it all happens. It's the cosmic uh, auric field. It's where thoughts become matter. And by staying calm and staying in that place of stillness within yourself and being able to go there, you can actually expand into it. Scientifically, they call it the um, I'll have to think of that a minute. Not the ethereal, the alpha, the beta. There's another brain wave out there that is where this energy is, and this is where everything happens. This is where the true connection to divine is. This is where the true connection to being able to listen to the truth within yourself. And when you're able to stay in that moment, that's when you go, oh my gosh, everything just sort of worked out. And I didn't really have to put any effort into it because you stepped into that. And it's really neat if you can stay in it. That's why when I go into meditation, I don't want to come home.
No, I know. It's a different world.
Yes.
It's a different feeling. It's a different connection. It's totally not like this world, which can feel like walking in mud sometimes, right?
Yeah, it's a little muddy.
Yeah. And a very thick and kind of strange energy. Anyway, so second question. Thank you for the great explanation. How can we
Okay.
begin to recognize our own etheric gifts?
Personally, I feel that when we start having those aha moments, and when we acknowledge them, it's like in the Celestine prophecy, the synchronicities. These are times that we are stepping out of the physical into that ethereal, into that field, and recognizing them. Because if you start recognizing them, then you'll start seeing how they do come sequentially, and how that feeling that you had to maybe not go that direction on this particular day, and you wonder why, and you go, well, this isn't how I usually go. And then later in the day, you find out that there had been something that slowed down traffic, or caused a problem, and you missed it because you just followed that little subtle nudge, and you start appreciating your ethereal gifts. You start
Yes.
going, oh, thank you. Oh, this worked. Oh, I'm doing this. And by doing this, we become aware that we really are living in that space and time.
Exactly. And one way, a great way actually, because we tend to get more information and nudges than we realize, is actually to have a little notebook and
Yep,
write them down. We don't need to write a novel. Time, date, and what happened, what occurred. And that
exactly.
way, we're also going to understand and see how this works for us, because it's a personal journey. And we learn with walking it how things come along. It can be dreams, it can be things that happen, yeah, anything in different ways, thoughts that are planted within us, right? When we
Yes,
obviously understand that that thought is not mine, it came from somewhere. It doesn't always mean we need to understand from whom. We more need to understand, what does that tell me? What do I need to do with that thing that happened to me, that occurred, right?
exactly. And there again, that stop, look, and listen.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Uh,
So, third question, why is acknowledgement such a powerful step in awakening these subtle abilities?
wow, I didn't even see that question, but I kind of answered it in what I was saying before. Because when we acknowledge it, when we go, oh, that was different, and write it down or put it to memory, that is going to start solidifying our awareness that these things are happening. And they happen all the time to everyone. But we get busy, or we were taught as a child, well, don't listen to that. That's not your brain telling you what to do. That's just a feeling you're having. Don't trust the feelings. And we're constantly taught not to stay in contact with those feelings, but
Yes.
we are constantly given these um, roadmaps, so to speak. There was a comedian one time, and he says, "Stop and read the signs. And when you do read the signs, try and follow the signs." It's like, I never saw the sign that said, dangerous curve up ahead, and I just kept going.
Yes.
But we are divinely guided. I don't care who you are, but we have to remove that uh, learning that we had, that we do not have those senses. Because, yes, we have taste and touch and sight and sound, and all of these, but we have intuition. We have the ability to know when somebody's staring at us. We have the ability to have that feeling that this doesn't feel right, so I'm not going to go that way.
Yes.
Trusting yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Trusting yourself.
And a silly example, I had this huge sense when I went a couple of years ago, when I went out with an electric bike. And believe it or not, even I don't always listen to my nudges, and because I said to myself, I feel that I'm not supposed to do that. That's my sense, right?
Yes.
But my thoughts and my mind told me, but you've done so many things in your life. You've done scuba diving, you have been bicycling all your life. You
Yes.
went into two um, kind of, what do you call them when you are bicycling with a lot of other people? Contest.
Yes.
I even made 2 of those. And then I kind of fell off the bike uphill, right? And I broke my leg, 17 days at the hospital. So should it have been a more practical way? But sometimes, when things happen, it's also about us learning something, or sometimes we play the role of helping someone else understand something.
That's right.
So we're not supposed to judge ourselves no matter what. Yeah, of course, afterwards I can say that wasn't my most creative and best and smartest idea. But that's the decision I made then. So we can't change the past in that sense, right? But we can
No,
accept. No.
except and with compassion, the no judgment. I mean, oops, that happened. Uh, you know, I tried that. Next time, I'll read the sign. Um,
Yes,
and
I'm thinking differently next time. But again, coming back to I do what I can with what I currently have, and then I look forward.
that's right.
That's a very good thing, right?
Exactly.
So, fourth question: what simple practices help us harness and balance our etheric energy, which is important if we want to find the calm within, right?
Well, I believe that everything that we said today, those are a beautiful way to start becoming aware that you want to keep this calmness about you, and the energy healing, um, and letting go. And sometimes we can let go on a, gee, I'm not going to do that anymore. But there's something that we had learned many, many years ago that says, oh, but you can this, you can do this. So associating that you have received in this period of time and saying, okay, the reason I'm repeating that is because I'm hooked up on something. So, what is it I'm hooked up on? So, let's go back and let's gently, embrace that, look at it, bless it for the lesson it taught you, and then eradicate it. Let it go. And don't
Yes,
go back and dig it up again. Just let it go.
exactly. Because once we have become aware of something, even that is a process. So don't punish yourself for maybe repeating it, because we are going to repeat some things, specifically if we are stubborn like I am, right? I'm giving a lot of things away about myself, but I love to share that, because what we did 10 years ago, even if we today, with what we have today, is giving us a different perspective on things. So today, maybe we would have done a different choice. It doesn't mean that we made the wrong choice 10 years ago, because we always usually make the best choices and decisions based on our current situation, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if I think still that I made a stupid choice, yeah, well, let it be that then, because
Yep.
I'm aware, and I'm not going to do that again. And if it happens that I do that again, I'm not going to punish myself for it. I'm still
Hey,
going to love myself when I say next time. I'm
that's
not giving
right.
up, right?
Hey, listen, we have stupid. We have choices. We have, you know, better, best, worst, stupid, crazy, imbecile. I mean, we have all kinds of choices that we could we could choose from.
Yes.
And
And
it happens.
it happens. And when things are looking in a way that we realize that I don't have anything, I don't have control over this situation, right? I don't have, it's not in my hands. I still have my response to what's going on.
That's
That
right.
is my weapon in that sense, right? So,
Exactly.
sorry. So, last question. How can sharing our etheric gifts uplift others and strengthen collective light?
Oh.
That's an interesting one. Simple question.
Yeah, I love that you said simple. Simple. There again, what is the contents of simple? That's my perspective of simple, and yours are seemingly different. Okay. All right. I know that you and I, along with millions and millions of other people, have specifically chosen this time and this space to show up because we were told that it's time that humanity needs to be exposed to and have an opportunity to at least try on some of these beautiful gifts that are available. And when we speak with people and when we help them find themselves, find their authentic self, find the self love, this is our way of empowering others so they
Yes.
can join and release their beautiful light, because within all of these people this light is what we came here to now share. And
Yes.
if we can, kind of run them through the car wash a little bit and knock off some of the rough edges, um, then they can shine, and then they can add to that collective light. They can add to the brilliance of being pure human.
Yes.
And some of us, after many, many, many years of knocking off our stuff, have had a glimmer, just a glimmer, of what we can at least share with these people. And I'm still working. I'm still going through car washes, and because that's the process. That's the process. Beautiful.
Yes. Beautifully said. Thank you so much. And whatever we are doing, we do something that's considered very spiritual work, right?
Yes.
But every work, if we are a torchbearer light being, a light worker, right?
Yes.
Every work, whatever we do, I can clean rooms or offices, or I can be a salesperson. If I do my work with integrity and love for myself and others, that is a very spiritual task,
Yes.
wherever we are, right?
Yes. A dear friend of mine told me one time, um, I was having a situation where I thought, here I came and I have uh, gifts to share, but I'm not seeing enough people to share them with. And their comment was this: if you're on the beach and you see a little turtle, not a turtle, but we'll go with a turtle. You're not supposed to pick them up, but I'm going to use this as an instance. And it's trying to get to the sea, and you pick it up and you put it into the water. Well, while you're doing that, seagulls and all other kinds of things are just devastating hundreds of others, and you can't save them all. But to that one little turtle, that was its life. So even if you don't feel that you're making a difference, you never know that that one person that you say thank you to, or you say, have a nice day, or may I be of assistance, that one person's life is changed.
Yes, even a smile to someone.
Exactly.
That was so beautiful. Thank you so much.
I get a little emotional.
Yeah, I'm getting emotional too because
Yeah.
it's beautiful, and we don't need to struggle. We just need to be authentic in who we are, and
Yes.
it's basically that simple. When we are starting to peel off, it gets easier with time because there's less resistance from within.
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing. In the beginning, yeah, we think we take a few courses, we learn a few things, and then we say, "Oh, I get it, I get it." So that's barely even a scratch on the surface.
Uh,
But
that that's
anyway,
that's very, very true. Very true.
yes. What do you say? Is there anything else we want to talk about today? Mention always, right?
Always, always. But I think this is a good time to allow people to start um, maybe sorting through the words we've said, and maybe there's one phrase, one word, or something that will give them an opportunity to start turning on their light.
Yes, yes, beautiful. And do you want to read the affirmation?
Always. Thank you. Okay. I am a luminous being of infinite awareness. My ethereal gifts awaken in harmony with love. I trust the unseen currents that guide my path. I honor the subtle wisdom that speaks through my soul. I am safe to shine, to sense, to know, to create. Every breath expands my connection to the divine field. I am embodied of ethereal empowerment, and I radiate my light freely into this world.
Thank you so much. That was exquisite. So, may these words echo softly within all of us as we close our circle tonight, very slowly. You can find upcoming and past episodes at youtube.com/ at Cosmic Guardians 111 slash streams and youtube.com/ at Angel Place on Earth slash streams and angelplaceonearth.com / upcoming past. You can connect with us, read articles, find out more details about Karine and myself at angelplaceonearth.com / cosmic guardians. And you find Karine Mooney at liquidenergyhealing.com. Our next upcoming show is next Wednesday. We always go live for you on Wednesdays on YouTube and stream the replay on facebook.com / cosmic guardians, right? So next Wednesday, June 10th, will we talk about, okay, interesting, more about ethereal empowerment, discovering, acknowledging, and harnessing your, I think I made a slightly mistake here. So let's skip this one
Okay.
because I think we did that one. So next week, just give me a very short little time here.
Now,
Check.
did you notice that your calmness was not shaken? We just
No,
go, oh, well, let's see what else is available.
it's not many things that does shake me, actually. Uh, no, I think that's correct, actually. So we go with that one. It's
Okay.
interesting. So next week we do dive deep into the topic ethereal empowerment, discovering, acknowledging, and harnessing your etheric gifts. So we
Wow.
have touched a little bit on that, but it's also a way of coping with the calm and where we come from, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to sum up this show today. So as we gently return from the etheric realms, May we carry the shimmer of remembrance within us, knowing that our gifts are not distant dreams, but living threads of light woven through our being. Each moment we choose awareness and digging within, we strengthen our connection to the unseen, and therefore we also cope with this world at the same time. So kind of these two topics today, embracing calm and coping with anxiety, is kind of, you could say, a portal or a doorway to go within as well, because there are messages and signs that's going to lead us forward. Like everything else on this path, it's like a chain. One thing connects to something else that's going to connect to something else. So each moment you choose awareness, you strengthen your connection to the unseen. Each breath you take in trust, you expand the field of love that surrounds us all. Let your etheric wisdom guide your steps. Let your sensitivity become your strength, and let your light ripple outward to awaken the same remembrance in others. Until we meet again in the next cosmic conversation, keep shining, keep sensing, keep believing in your brilliance and your ability to remain calm and find calm within. With infinite love, peace, and joy, we see you, we hear you, we honor you, we love you, we appreciate you. From your cosmic sisters.
And I'm waving goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.